right? It wouldn't work, right? Okay, with a brand new person, they need to be told, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, baby. I love you. Like Gaitan's video. You guys saw that? That was hilarious. Just so you know, my video was so bad, there was this song where I felt like, who wants to be a billionaire? So freaking bad. You remember that song?
Yes.
Okay, I rapped it, and I made up all these other words. And at one of these things, I had basketballs. Okay, this is a true story. This is why they don't play the video. Like you guys are phpu4 University, advanced. What class is this? Is this the last class? This is the last class. Oh yeah, and you got to know the story. But it stays here. You can't. Don't post this on social media. My mom will be embarrassed. Okay. So you got to understand, we're doing like this video of like get 10, get 10. We go to this tattoo parlor. We go to a real tattoo place, right? And the guy's getting a fake tattoo saying 10. Then we go, I don't know what we did. We found like some bum, one of our guys dressed up like a bum. And then we said before PHP, and then like afterwards. And we like literally found him on the side of a street, and he's like, ah, right? And then we're like after PHP. So we were making a funny video to promote the power of hitting 10 in your base shot, right? And I was like, and so we do this thing, and I'm like, because you got big balls, and I have basketballs like this, and in the video I'm like, because you got big balls, right? And the whole room, I'm thinking like they're gonna laugh their butt off, right? The whole room was like this. And you gotta understand, like I don't get actors like or stage fright. I wanted to die that day. I sit in the room, I'm like, guys. Just understand this. Nobody is laughing for like 4 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Gaitan is laughing at me. He's not laughing at the video, like great job. He's like, okay? So anyways, I needed that day, you know what I needed? Somebody to tell me they believe in me. Okay? So people need somebody to believe in them. Right? Constantly. This lady asked me today, she says, how do you get people to stop quitting the business, right? And I said, well, you got to understand most people are quitting the business because of the first 24 to 48 hours of the business, right? What are the things that are going to kill people in the business? There's really one. There's actually two. Their spouse and their friends, right? Spouse/family and friends, right? So that's why our system says the moment somebody gets started, what do? You prepare them for a scenario of disaster. And the second thing you do is you immediately meet with their spouse and their center of influences, right? So that those people you get their support and they don't get killed by that market, right? You get them through the filters, you get them results. That's one. The second thing that you need to do for this person is you need to make sure that you're calling calling out the what's going to happen for them in the future, right? Hey, listen, you know, at one point this business becomes difficult and it's so easy to quit. But every time things become difficult, people quit. And guess what happens? Quitting becomes a habit. You're going to want to quit one day. I'm just telling you right now. You're going to want to quit. Maybe you get married and one day it's tough. Maybe you have kids, one day it's tough. Everybody's going to have a tough moment. They're going to want to quit. And you know what most people do? They do quit. And then they spend the rest of their life saying, man, I'm not a quitter, I'm not a quitter, I'm not a quitter. But they know they're a quitter. When do you think I want to have that conversation with my guys? When they're quitting or before they want to quit? Before they want to quit. Right? And the third thing is, guess what I want to do as fast as possible with my new recruit? What's the thing I want to do the fastest, outside of spouse and family, what do I want to do? What's the fastest thing I want to do? I want to get into their top 25. Right? I want to get into their market as fast as possible for a couple reasons. One, it's where I get results. And two, it's probably going to be my market when this person quits the business. Right? That top 25 becomes my top 25. Right? And you start building relationships with people. Okay? So people need somebody to believe in them. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Patrick. How many of you guys don't want to have life-saving conversations with people? Be honest. You don't want your people to tell you, dude, I just don't feel like doing this isn't for me. I don't ever want to have those conversations. Just so you know, you ever get one of these texts, can we talk? You're like, no. Right? Because you know what's coming. Especially if it's from a new recruit, you definitely know what's coming. But what's worse is when it's coming from like one of your leaders, like, can we talk? Right? And you know why you're afraid of having those conversations? Because you really don't fully know how to process yet. Otherwise, you wouldn't be intimidated by the conversation because you know that conversation is where the breakthrough happens. Let's get through it. And let's see how I can help you get over this mentality, because this mentality is why you're not winning. let's attack that mentality, right? And guess what I'm doing in that meeting? I'm pouring belief. And I'm not just giving empty belief like, I believe in you, I believe in you, I believe in you. That doesn't work, right? You have to find a person's strength and complement their strength. Dude, you know why you're going to do so well in the business? Because your level of sincerity and the way that you treat people and your personality, people are going to love doing business with you. People are going to trust you. You're a good person. People love being around you. I would love being around you, right? You know why you're going to win in this business? Because you're a great student and you're always improving. You're constantly improving. Every time I see you, man, you got a book, you got this, you got that. You're always getting better. The world can't stop somebody that's always getting better. I'm going to find out their strength on why I think they can do the business. At that moment, they're thinking they can't do the business. You have to ask yourself, do I really think this person can? Right? And I'm going to relate to them and tell them my story. Right? I understand how you feel because I felt the same way, but here's what I found. How many of you guys have had a thought about quitting at one point? What kept you in the business? Write it down. What kept you in the business? No, I'm really asking.
Oh.
No plan B.
Okay, no plan B.
Not going back to work.
Not,
Like an employee.
okay, not wanting to go back to work.
Proving my family wrong that I wasn't going to quit.
Got it. So that if you did quit, you were proving everybody right that you couldn't do it.
That's right.
So chip on the shoulder, point to prove.
Yes.
What else? What does that mean? Your spouse kept you in the business, right? So that means somebody that's married, their spouse can't keep them in the business, or their team can keep them in the business too, right? So partner or downline. What else?
Prove to myself.
Huh?
Prove to myself.
So point to prove. So we said point to prove, somebody on their team that kept them in the business. What else? Not, huh?
Fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out. The what if I would have stayed in this? What could it have done for me? Okay, so fear of missing out. Somebody believing in you. We talked about this.
My kids.
Okay, your why.
Because, I mean, we had a conversation that we were doing the transition from being employees to having our own business. I can't look back at my kids and say, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Yeah, that's such a great motivator for parents. You're absolutely right. Like, if you don't improve as a parent, how are you gonna? Your kids are gonna duplicate exactly who you are today.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. So number 2, people need somebody to have high expectations from them. Your team does not want you to hold them to high standards. It's human nature. They want low standards. That's just people, period. So you constantly have to hold the standard high. Here's what happens. The moment somebody does something and you don't call it out because you're afraid of losing somebody, you lose everybody. Because then everybody thinks that that's okay or that's the standard. And then that person doesn't know what your standard is. Now that doesn't mean to call somebody out, you have to be a jerk either. Sometimes we think call outs are what? Man, that's rude, that's hard. It doesn't have to be that way. Every personality is different. An A can handle a call out different than an R can handle a call out. Trust me. There are different types of personalities that, yeah, can I be direct with you? And you go, pfft, and they're good with that. The other person, you need to sandwich it. You know, I believe in you, right? Can we have a serious conversation? Boom, right? And then you end with belief as well. Okay, people need somebody to help them stay focused. This is why accountability is so important. What system of accountability do you run with your people? Tell me what that is. Outside of the Monday full-timers, anybody else have any accountability that they do with their team? How many guys are an MD in here? Okay. How many guys are a non-MD? How many guys are a non-MD and you have a system of accountability for your team? Okay, watch this, you guys. Watch this, MDs. How many guys are non-MDs? Raise your hand high. High. It's okay, by the way. This is a good thing. How many guys are non-MDs? And how many guys have a system of accountability for your team as a non-MD? So we learned a couple things. One person, right? One of the things that we learned is that a lot of the non-MDs are waiting for an MD to have a system of accountability instead of them holding themselves accountable to a system of accountability as a non-MD, right? And then MDs, what I learned too is what system am I teaching my non-MDs to implement to hold their people accountable as non-MDs? Now here's an interesting thing about being a non-MD. How you are as a non-MD is exactly how you're going to be as a marketing director. However you are in somebody else's base shop is exactly who you're going to be when you have your own base shop. So when do you think you should start practicing high standards? When do you think you should start practicing helping people with accountability and stay focused?
No.
Most people right now, right? This is the time. You don't need to be an MD to do that. You don't need to have a certain level of cash flow to do that. It's zero to do with where you are in the business, and it has everything to do with where you want to go in the business. Okay, so what could be that system of accountability? What do I need? What's the number one thing I need when I'm a new person? I've already committed to the business. I've been through the filters. I'm running for my promotion. I'm kind of here and there. I'm not 100% committed, but I show up to the BOMs. What do I need? A recruit, okay. What do I need? What is,
System.
a system, okay. This is part of, it starts with an S. It's not systems. I need structure, for sure. So both of them are systems and structure. What is that called? On this simple, very simple. When you get a job, what do they give you?
A map?
Schedule.
I need a schedule. How many guys as a non-MD have a schedule? Okay, there we go. So can I make a schedule? Should I make a schedule?
Yes.
Should I have a schedule for my business if I'm part-time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything I should do when I'm full-time, I should do when I'm part-time, just at a different level. So start to, you know how people say, when I hit MD, then I'm going to do that. Right? That used to, when I'm an MD, I want to freaking, I want to be. Okay. You got to get rid of that, and you got to start acting like an MD right now. You know, people come and they tell you, some of you guys don't know me, and you're like, hey, why are you telling me what you have to do? I'm not telling you what you have to do. I'm just telling you what I've done that's worked for me, and I'm sharing it with you. And these small little things, while they're small, they're so easy not to do, but they're also easy to do. That's why success is challenging, because it's so easy not to do the small things. Right? Patrick asked us a question the other day about atomic habits if we've read the book.
Yes.
Right? And everybody wants to do that big thing. People will come up to me and they'll ask me a big event like, George, what's the one thing that changed for you? George, when did you, and it's like, you know what you're looking for? You're looking for this one Everest moment that really doesn't exist. Every little thing is one small thing, and you know what you ask yourself? Could I do this little thing better? Could I do this call better? Could I run my meeting better? Could I do my training better? Can I lead my team better? And you're asking, how do I get 1% better? Don't worry about getting 1,000,000% better. That's going to happen when you get 1% better 1,000,000 times. How do I get better? How do I get better? So yes, you need a schedule, right? Because if I have a schedule, that means I'm being accountable to being what? Consistent. All right, consistent. And if I'm consistent, have you noticed anything you do, you believe other people can do it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So if you go do something, you believe other people can do it. If you don't believe you can do it, you don't believe other people can do it. So when you're consistent and you have a schedule, guess what you start telling your part-timers to do?
The same thing.
To have a schedule. Very few people are able to do that long-term, develop that into their people, and then get their people to go full-time. So a small secret to the business, what's the most important day in your business? Monday. Guess when you want your people to be there at the office, and guess what day off you want?
Full-time.
You want Monday as a day off for a lot of your people. So if I can modify the schedule for people, their job schedule, I'm going to get them in my office on Monday. Why? Because now I'm getting them to full-timers for accountability or leadership meeting. I don't call it full-timers because then people think you have to be full-time to come. Builders meeting, right? And then guess where I'm getting them? To phone zone. And then guess where I have them? Once they're at the office for builders meeting, they're at the office throughout the day. Now I get them a whole day. Now this person that just like literally came, sat in their car, sat here in the meeting, took notes, then went back, put it in their car, and forgot about PHP. Now this person's starting to put more time of their week. If their week is 0, but now I get them to give me 10 hours, guess what? It's easier for them to give me 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20. Would you love your part-timers to really actually invest 20 to 40 hours into this business?
Yeah.
Yes. You can make that happen, but you gotta have that's gotta be an expectation for you, right? What are your standards? Here's what I've done with standards on our team. Right now we have a bunch of new people in my base shop, and I'm trying to build new MDs. And so the only thing that I hold them to is keep your word. Tell me what you're gonna do on the front end, and I don't care what your number is. I just want you to do 2 things. 1, I want you to keep your word. The second thing I want you to do is improve it next week. So whatever you did this week, I want you to do it a little bit better next week. Because I know that maybe he's going to commit to 50 prospects a week, this person's going to commit to 7. as long as they both hit their number, that's all I care about. Am I gonna spend my time with this person more?
Yes.
1,000%. I'm gonna spend 10 times more time here, right? That's a problem too, is that you spend time with the wrong people on your team. I'm doing a call the other day, this is yesterday, this guy's like, yeah, I just don't want life insurance, I'm young, I'm healthy, I don't think I'm gonna die, I don't think I'm gonna get sick, I don't need to leave money to anybody else. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, why am I with this guy? Wrong market, not married, no kids, he's on our team, right? And I'm like, man, I need to end this field training. Because this is not the person, you got into this business, you're getting an insurance license, but you don't believe in life insurance. You are a salesperson. And that's what he does, he sells loans. So for him, he's just thinking about how can I sell it to other people I don't really believe in the product. That's not the person I want, right? So I'm not gonna spend time there. You gotta decide, who am I spending time with? Is it a good investment of my time? What's the return I'm getting? All right, people need somebody to help them have a sense of fun.
I have a question before you move forward. You said you give them a schedule. Is this a person as a team? Like, hey, you just went to pastor school, this and that. Is this a one-on-one? Is this someone that you think?
One-on-one is always better than anything. One-on-one is, this is everybody. Yeah, tell me what your week looks like. Let's talk about your dreams. So I always start off with what you want, what the why, what the dream is, and then I ask for something. All right? So I don't say, hey, what's your schedule going to be here? I said, hey, tell me again why you're doing the business for your mom. Okay, tell me how many hours you're putting into the business and what your schedule is for the week so you can win for your mom. Always start with why. Anytime you start with why, people can't be mad at you. If you start with numbers and what they're not doing, they're going to look at you as a manager. But if you start with their why, immediately, now you're just holding them accountable to their why, so they don't feel like you're managing them. Okay? People need somebody to help them have a sense of fun. All right, we're in our car today. We rent this party van, and everybody's really conservative. Okay, they're like professional people. They're all conservative, and so I'm like, we put some Bad Bunny on or something, and I stand up, and I'm like, and I grab the things, the stripper poles at the top or whatever poles they are, my former career, right? And I start dancing, and we do our thing, and I say, popcorn, boom, right? And I point to somebody. I'm like, you gotta point to somebody. This band went from a bunch of people having a business conversation, which is good too, we had that, to everybody having a dance, right? People want to have fun, but they typically, have you ever seen that Dancing Man? Where like one crazy guy goes and dances, and then he's like doing all kinds of weird, like how Chris Phelps dances, right? At least I think that's how you dance. I don't know. Maybe Phelps got mad rhythm, right? And I don't know. We know Gaetan knows how to dance for sure. For sure, he knows how to dance. But anyways, I'm just joking. See, even like training's got to be fun. Conference calls got to be fun. What is competition? Fun, right? What is recognition? Fun. So. But you got it, people, they're so serious, man. And I'm a really serious person, so Patrick helps me with this area. How many guys are serious? How many guys are just very logical? Like, dude, you don't need to, come on, I just need to work. What are you talking about? Skip the motivation, tell me about whole life, okay? Nothing wrong with those people too, they'll be your best field trainers, okay? You're not gonna build them, right? No, joking, I'm just joking. You can become somebody. I believe in you. Okay. You gotta have fun, you gotta do pranks with people. You gotta do pranks with people, okay? You gotta scare people. The other day we're talking about, we're gonna turn off all the lights, and one of us is gonna hide in the shower at the office, and when Elvis comes in, we're gonna scare the crap out of him. Elvis would punch somebody, so nobody's done it yet, because he'd freak out and get scared and punch somebody, right? But like, just a fun culture aspect, okay? People need somebody to consistently remind them of what's important. Guys, human beings are so focused on what's going on in their life today that most of them they literally don't believe that everything that they want is really possible. And here's how you know if somebody really believes. If somebody really believed that everything they wanted was possible, their level of effort and urgency would match their dream. So when a person doesn't have urgent, it's a couple things. They don't fully know what they want, or they don't believe that they're capable of attaining it. So if I know what that is, then I need to solve for one of those two things. Is it that you need clarity and you need somebody to help you paint the picture? Because some people are not good at that. Okay? Or is it that you need to sit down with that person, right, and find out what's the limiting belief? Everybody has a limiting belief. Your job is to help break limiting beliefs in your people. Okay. Patrick, we're sitting there, it'll be anywhere. Doesn't matter where we are. And he's very intense. You've seen Patrick, but then in the middle of a call out, he'll start cracking jokes with people. Right? And I asked him one time, I said, Pat, man, I'm overwhelmed, da 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 da. And he says, George, you just gotta have perspective. He says, you live in the greatest country in the world. He says, he said something the other day on Instagram, I don't know if you guys saw. He said, if you can eat, if you can speak, see, touch, taste, hear, walk, talk, so you have everything you need to change your life. People need to be reminded of that all the time. A lot of people are living constantly in their past. So you got to constantly remind them of it. Sell the dream constantly. Yes.
So, sorry. What book would you recommend for if you don't really know how to help people break their limiting beliefs and you're yourself trying to get through that process? What book do you recommend for us to get better at it?
So I would. Sometimes the book is not a book. Sometimes it's you saying, okay, what is my limiting belief? And finding out your own, and then saying, okay, why do I have this limiting belief? It's because I haven't done it before. What part of it do I think I can't do? And then, okay, I don't think I can do this part. This is the part. Okay, what system do I have in place to do this part? Man, I don't have a system in place to do this. Okay, well then what system can I create to do this? Okay, and so I got to figure out why don't I believe that? And the point is constantly ask why. Why? Hey, what? So give me your limiting belief. Let's do it. What's your belief system, or what limiting belief do you have?
Okay. I don't believe I can do this very well. I don't believe I could be a good wife, mom, businesswoman, all at once.
Okay. So is that limiting belief affecting you in business?
Yeah, because then I will compromise a meeting to be a good mom or a good wife.
Okay. Have you ever tried to create a schedule and time block for things with your family and keep your word on that, and then time block for things with your business and keep your word on that and keep those two schedules?
Yes, and
Okay.
I just struggle with the support system.
Okay. So then what do you need in order to have a better support system? Do you need more income?
More money.
Okay. So so how much more money would you need to have what kind of support system would you need? Somebody to watch the kids?
Yeah, that's number one.
Okay. And so how many hours a day would you need somebody to watch the kids?
Well, I'm at the office all day, so
Okay.
maybe the morning, so I could just be here in the morning.
Okay. So how many hours is that? Let's start off with a number, and you can build up over time with it.
6 hours.
Okay, 6 hours. What would you have to pay somebody for 6 hours to watch the kids?
Maybe $100.
What's the hourly rate for a babysitter?
Like $15.
Okay, so yeah, $90, right? $90 times what? 6 days a week? 7 days a week?
6 days. 6 days, because I gotta be here Saturday morning.
Okay, so right, what's 90 times 6?
Like $600.
540, right? $600. So what's $600 times 4? 2,400.
2,400.
Okay, what's your contract level?
75.
Okay, what is 2,400 divided by 75%? Do it in your phone. What's 2,400 divided by 75%?
1,800.
Divided by 75
Uh-huh.
times 0.75.
No, 2,400 divided by 75%.
3,200.
3,200. What's 3,200 divided by 12?
266.
Okay, what's 266 divided by 4?
66.
Okay, so you have to sell one additional $66 policy per week.
Per week?
Yes? One additional $66 policy, right? Just do the math with me. Put it in your phone. $66 times 4. What is that?
266.
What's 266 times 12?
3,200.
What's that times 75%?
No, you need.
2,400.
That's what you need to get better support so that you don't feel that you're neglecting your kids while running a business. So a $66 policy per week would stop you from feeling that way.
Thank you.
Yep. See, most people have a limiting belief. They just don't understand how to accomplish their goal. They just need a little bit of clarity. It's just a conversation. And I can sit here and tell you, well, you can do both, you can do both, you can do both. Maybe you can do both. I would tell you, one, go talk to a mom that does both. You have a great example, you know, with Marlene on that. But then your response is, well, I need support. Well, then great, let's solve for support. What is that? Right? Maybe right now you have a limiting belief that you cannot afford an extra $2,600, $2,400. Maybe that's a real limiting belief, that you don't believe that you can make an extra $2,400 a month. Well, why? Because you don't have a plan to do it. Right? But you know that, man, if I made an extra $2,400, what do I really need to do? It's a $66 policy. Do I believe I can do a $66 policy?
Absolutely.
That's one person saving $66. Let's say you have a bad market and each one of your clients is going to save $33. Then you got to do two $33 policies a week. I can't do that. Can you do four $15 policies a week?
Absolutely.
Right? It's so simple. And honestly, what would that feel like if you had a support system and you knew for 6 hours the kids are being taken care of world class while you're here building your business?
I wouldn't feel guilty anymore,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't feel like I have to compromise.
Do you think those 6 hours times 6 days, do you think those 36 hours of clarity and freedom would help you produce more in your business?
Absolutely.
There you go. Okay. So let's keep moving forward on this. 2, sit down and identify what he or she needs. Operating system, I think you guys went through this. I'm going to go through objections. Okay. This part